Hey Zach, what's inside that thing?
Let's see, man. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Just doing some house cleaning. Slaughter trail guides. Getting ready to get Cindy. You guys want to go shred?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Andy. I am out here in Rogers, Arkansas. Came out here to visit my Enduro bros, Dustin and Zach. They run Slaughter Trail Guides, really cool service out here that I wanted to help everybody see what's going on out here in the area. It's a pretty amazing trail system that they got going on. It's been in the making for, what, the past 4 years?
I'd say the better part of 10 years.
Better part of 10 years. I only found out about it a couple years ago when I got into Enduro. And I came out here on a whim. I freaking was blown away. So I've been trying to come back for a while now and finally made it happen. And wanted to give you guys a chance to get to know these guys a little bit better. And go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves, Dustin and Zach, your cycling history, what some of your influences were, how you got to where you are now.
So I was born and raised in Rogers, and when I first started riding, I learned how to ride a dirt bike, on moto, where the back 40 trail system is now. And then later transitioned into racing BMX, and then mountain bike trail started being built. And it was a great way for me to get back in the woods. And I bought my first mountain bike out of high school, and quickly got into racing downhill, dual slalom, and just kind of doing everything, exploring what all you could do with bikes, and then just kept on growing here. And now my main focus is racing enduro, but kind of do it all here. We have a really great variety.
Zach?
Yeah, so starting cycling was kind of strange for me. Came from skateboarding background. Then I moved to the city where I was working, a couple miles down the street, and just got like an old shitty 10-speed, and it was pretty fun. And I would just like commute to work and just had a lot of fun blasting down hills and stuff. And it just kind of snowballed from there. I got into track racing, and a little bit of crit racing and some fixed gear crits, and moved down here to Arkansas. And I got on a trail bike, and then I sold every other bike I had. Got a trail bike, it was pretty dope. And
A carbon bike.
Yeah.
Would you say
My
carbon
first-
bike?
My carbon bike. No, but no, it's awesome. I guess some of my influences are just like seeing all these locals progress, and just wanting to progress with them and with the area. Like Dustin just said, the trails are awesome. It's like a training ground everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
it's basically like you could go to any spot.
It's pretty intense. Super jealous coming from Dallas. Yeah, well, we got to drive 45 minutes, at least I do, 45 minutes to an hour to get anywhere worthwhile. And even then, we don't have the kind of elevation that they have here or the variety, because, all our trails back home, I'm grateful for what we have, but you can definitely tell the difference between a volunteer-run trail system and a system that has a lot of funding and ambition behind it, because you go out on these trails and there's certain trails that are very natural, super rocky and chunky, and you can just kind of follow what's already been dug in, and then there's trails where it's almost like a mini bike park.
Yep.
And you have big berms, gaps, tables, this huge freaking step up that he laid claim to, the first one to hit yesterday. We'll cut that in a little bit later. Yeah! Yes! Good shit. It was pretty freaking gnarly.
Scary.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I want to go ahead and touch on how I met these two, and to kind of reiterate how cool the environment is, or the culture is with the enduro racing, or just cycling in general. I was convinced to do enduro racing by my friend Rich Drew. I met him just on Facebook through mutual friends, and I saw some pictures of him, and I was like, dude, this guy's racing mountain bikes, pretty cool. I'd like to go out and just take some pictures for practice. So I reached out to him. He said, come on, come check it out. And it was an enduro race in Thailand. It was, 2 years ago. And I saw the format, and I was like, this is effing rad, dude. Because in Texas, cross country kind of was the king of all racing. Is start line, 3, 2, 1, go, and then you just smash out laps within a certain time domain or a certain distance, and that's just not my style of riding. Me and endurance don't mix. But with the enduro format, it's like time stage races, almost like rally car racing. So you have a start, you go up to the start, you have a timing chip on your bike, 3, 2, 1, go, you haul ass, you finish, cruise to the next section, and that little liaison or the transition allows you guys to hang out and just talk war stories, you know? Dude, I almost fucking bit it on this stage, or dude, I crushed it. The freaking gap came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my God. So it lends to a more friendly environment. Everyone's super cool and super supportive. It's not like the XC races where you show up and everyone's just so choked out with their spandex that no one talks to each other, you know? These guys are like open arms taking you in, and our tent at Sanson was set up next to Dustin's. Crew out of Arkansas. I was like, I don't know anything about these dudes. I've seen some of this stuff on social media. It seems like a pretty cool group of guys. And one of them just said, what's up? We started talking, and out of the blue, I said, hey, I got a buddy that works in Arkansas. I don't remember what shop it is, but I know he's out there. He just moved there from Long Island. And Dustin goes, what's his name? I go, it's Jemiah. And he goes, what's his last name? He goes, oh shit, I work with that guy. And I was like, small world. I was like, he does this all the time when he gets angry. He's like, just flips out all the time. He's like, yeah, that's totally him. I was like, sweet, dude. So we started shooting the shit. Got to know him and his little crew, and then I made a point to get up here about a year ago, and I was blown away. Went up to the shop to meet up with Jeremiah. Zach was a mechanic there, and that day they're like, hey, you want to go ride? Cool, I'll tag along. Took me to Slaughter Pen, and I was like, dude, I got to get back. It was pretty rad. And this jerk was living across the street from Slaughter Pen then.
Yeah.
I was like, pretty lucky, man.
It's pretty awesome.
Cool shit.
Just run over and do some laps.
Yep. So how did you guys meet each other?
In the bike.
Yeah, same
Fat
thing.
Tire?
Yeah, Fat Tire. Yeah.
Did it click right away?
He wasn't riding mountain. He was still riding his fifth gear bike and trying to ride the Greenway and shit. And
You're like, dude, what are you doing?
Terrible idea.
Do you know where you're at?
But I don't think it took very long to, like you said, get on a mountain bike. And first mountain bike he buys is a carbon full suspension, you know. And
The Slash was your first
ride
bike?
into it. Yeah.
First mountain bike
shit,
ever.
dude.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
Go big or go home.
I think
guess,
you had
know.
just put it together when I met you. Like,
Yeah.
You hadn't put a whole lot of miles on it then.
No. Yeah, we were squidding around the downhill course. It was pretty fun.
Good times, man. So, how many trails are in the close vicinity?
Greater area, NWA. I'd say going 200 plus miles.
200 plus miles.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Because there's pretty much either a trail system or multiple trail systems in every town.
Yeah.
So
And they keep freaking building.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just growing, exploding. It's crazy.
They took me out to Lake Leatherwood yesterday and showed me some of the usual runs that everyone's down with, and we happened to come up on the guys that were building, and we found this section that it's not even finished out. They were still continuing, but it was enough for us to be able to kind of sample it. And it is just ridiculous how amazing these fucking trails are. The way it's built out, even though it was soft, we were still carrying speed. It was just a lot of fun. Just flow, berm, flow, jump, gap. It's just non-stop, and they keep building more of this stuff.
I think we have such a big foundation now. They
Yeah.
want to have that encompassing variety for every type of rider, and also, you know, a platform for riders to progress. And we've gotten to the point now where it's like we need bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a perfect example yesterday.
Because at first it was kind of seemed like there was a safety net on everything.
Well, I mean,
Like,
some of the old stuff at Slaughter Pen was big, but you know, Slaughter Pen I think is going to be a place to foster some more beginner to novice riders. You know, there's a few new pieces there that are more intermediate to advanced.
It's just amazing how many different trails you have and the different kind of terrain and obstacles they provide, because this is like a perfect place for a training ground for anybody that's serious about racing or even just wants to hang out and just explore new things. You will definitely not go home after visiting here and have less skill. You come here, you ride even like their easiest trail, you're gonna go home and have new things in the bag for you when you get back to your home trails. It's so much stuff out here. So within all those trails in the vicinity, what is your favorite or your favorites that you guys like to hang out at?
My favorite's always been Lake Leatherwood. That's always been one place where it has a dedicated downhill trail that you can shuttle.
Which was rad, by the way.
Yeah, and so kind of like I said, when I first got into mountain biking, I quickly was intrigued by downhill racing. And so we used to go out there all the time and just run laps. But also the single track tends to be pretty raw, technical, rocky, and I like that style of single track.
What about you, Zach?
For me, Kohler popped up, man, and it was like the best thing I've ever seen. You know, it's just like 250-foot high hill, you know, with basically gravity trails going down on all sides of it. I mean, yeah, single track, jump lines. I guess at that point in time, I was really interested in like learning how to jump my mountain bike and you know, get rad or whatever. You know, you see in the videos, everybody's jumping and whipping and all that. And so it was cool, you know, to go train over there, and then you have trails like Rock Solid where it's just, you know, Chunduri, waterfall, rock garden trail with, you know, rock lip toenail jumps over gardens and stuff. And
no better place to learn how to jump, man, coming from the road.
yeah. And then
the backyard.
Yeah, in
right?
the backyard. I mean, I literally would coast out of the garage all the way to the trailhead.
This dude is literally across the street. Like, from the distance it takes you to get from your front door to your mailbox, that's how far it was for him to get to Slaughter Pen.
And for a lot of people, it's Bentonville and Bella Vista.
Yeah. And so at Kohler, I really enjoy it because it's just like a straight up training ground. You know, you can, as many times as you can climb that hill, you can go down it, you know, and just do lap after lap.
And that's another thing that we don't have in Dallas is elevation change. So when I come out here and ride, I have to kind of cruise a little bit on the climbs, and I definitely feel it towards the end of the day, and I'm appreciative of it because we don't get to train in that kind of elevation. So let's talk about Slaughter Trail Guides. What services do you guys offer? How did you guys come up with the idea? When did it pop up and you said, hey, this is something that I want to do, let's make it happen?
I think Zach and I both, being in the bike shop, we're always meeting new people coming into town and asking for trail info, and you know, just loving to ride. We're just inherently always taking people out.
Yeah.
And so Slaughter Trail Guides, you know, the crux was we had this idea of being a trail guide service, and I think we both spoke to a few people, mentors for me. We're like, yeah, this is an awesome idea, and it was kind of, we figured it was a matter of time before somebody else
Would do it. Yeah. Why not be us?
Kind of wanted to be the first people to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were already doing it. It was kind of funny. We were kind of doing it separate from each other, just kind of here and there.
and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But they took the kind of homegrown, hey, give me a shot. You guys actually made a legit business out of it. They got a pretty cool freaking van. You got it wrapped with the logo and all that. He's got this amazing rack on the back that carries, like 6 bikes?
Yeah, 6
Tons of room inside the van to carry people. It's the perfect trail guide vehicle. It's 2 thumbs up for me. So,
It's a lot of fun.
what were some of the hurdles or unforeseen obstacles that you guys had to go through in order to get this up and running? Was there any kind of like backlash
Say
from the
there was
city?
there's not any ever like hang-ups,
Yeah.
but we did decide that we wanted it to be very original. We wanted it to be us.
Yeah.
And so, you know, our business plan was basically like playing off both of our strengths.
Kind of like grassroots style, you know?
Yeah, and designing our own plan, our own content, our own graphics, and doing it all. And so it's just a process, you know, of prioritizing those milestones. You know? And we're still going through them.
How long have you guys been up and running now?
A year.
A year.
Going on a year.
Very nice.
I think probably the hardest thing to get going was trying to get a social media presence going. You know.
Which actually, I will attest to the fact that it is working, because even in local to Dallas Facebook groups, we'll have somebody post up, hey dudes, I'm going out to Bentonville, I'm going out to Rogers, any idea where I should go or who I should talk to, and Slaughter Trail Guides always pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your reach is getting out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yes. That's what helps with the racing community and everybody helping each other out.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you guys offer as far as services right now? And do you have anything in the plans for the near future or distant future that you might want to let us know about?
There's some cool plans, and it's basically just to become more accommodating.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that, but the main focus is always being a trail guide service. Like you said, there's so much trail here. There's something for everybody. But as you know, when you go into a new area, it's hard to figure out. You know, where to go, where to park, what trails to hit, the directions.
Direction. Yeah.
And so we design our tours around days or weekends or weeks.
Okay.
And to give people the same experience that we would plan for ourselves, you know, the way that a local would ride it.
So you do the trail guide service. What else? You have like a skills
We do
development?
offer skills coaching. We've set up some camps
Okay.
for some juniors and people that you can't ride all day and you can't do bunny hops and wheel lifts all day. And so we've had some people reach out, and it's really cool to break down a weekend and do like half skills clinics and half trail guides.
Half trail
So you
rides.
Kind of practice and then go apply it on a cool trail.
So you guys both mentioned that you race. You guys mentioned enduro. When you guys are out here training, you have so many options. What are your top 2 trails? One for smashing out laps and building that base and endurance and muscular endurance. And what's your favorite trail for developing your skills? Drops, jumps, lifts.
Personally, I'd go back to Kohler.
Yeah.
There's some pretty gnarly, chunky stuff things that you would typically see in an enduro race. Going down a pretty steep, gnarly hill, and then all of a sudden there's a bastard climb right in the middle of it, and you're like, heart rate's pinned, and you're dying trying to go up this little tiny climb you'd never expected.
Yeah.
Laps there, and I think for me, I really like to go out to the back 40 and do long loops to get endurance training in, longer mile rides, longer mileage.
Yeah, that's really tough. There's so much to pick from.
Yeah.
But any time that I can drop to Leatherwood and do laps on the downhill course, or go to the Buffalo, that's one of our favorite spots.
Yeah.
We've taken a lot of people this fall, and there's a little bit more elevation than there is here in town. So longer climbs, bigger descents.
Yeah.
But really, you can find good training anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere. I mean, honestly, at this time of the year right now, there's not a lot of light. It gets dark super early now, 5 o'clock. Shop's open until 7, so there's, it's either night riding or lunch loops. And I'll go over to Lake Atalanta, which is not technical, not a lot of features, but it's a lot of steep, loose stuff up and down. And just go over there and just try, like I said before, just try to pin the heart rate and put some power down and get a workout in.
I don't think you guys understand how difficult of a question that is for these guys to answer with all the options that they have. I mean, as soon as I asked you could see their brain was kind of, the wheel was spinning. They're like, what the hell did I say? That's how much they have out here.
Yeah, you could spend an entire week and ride every day and not hit everything.
Yeah, no, this is my second time out here. I've hit Slaughter Trail. We went to Lake Leatherwood. We're going to go to Kola after this. And each time I come, I don't even really explore the whole entire trail because I don't have enough time. Even within on that trail itself, it's like I haven't hit everything. It's just how much they have out here. It's amazing. And I guess we should touch on how it came about with the Walton family and how they supported it. That's kind of the catalyst? Is that how I understand it?
A little bit.
Or they kind of just help push it?
Mountain biking has been in Arkansas for over 30 years now.
Yeah.
But I'd say the beginning of the boom was slaughter pin, and that was allocating the built by the walls.
Okay.
But originally before that, I mean, it was like the ORC Build and Trail, right?
Yep.
Oh, and Leatherwood, right?
Well, Leatherwood, and there are some people living at the Buffalo that built trail down there.
So it's been around for quite some time, but in the past few years, it just literally exploded, and to the point to where they had IMBA. They held an event here,
The World Summit.
World Summit. They're doing an outer bike here next year.
Outer bike next year.
Yep. And then
That's
they had
awesome, dude.
Outdoor Bloggers Summit just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So much cool stuff, and they have Fat Tire Festival,
Yeah.
which is a pretty big event.
Yep.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's been
talks
around.
about.
It's been around for 20 plus years.
Wow.
It's been going on.
It's on my birthday every year.
Party.
Good birthday week. And that has a little bit of every type of riding, you said. Downhill riders, enduro
It
riders.
does. Usually it starts with short track, and it goes into downhill Saturday morning, Super D, trials, some kids events.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is the cross country race.
So if you like bikes and you like dirt, Fat Tire Festival is something you want to check out. So back to racing, what advice would you give someone who's thinking about it, but they're kind of like, I don't know, enduro's kind of crazy, I'm not a professional rider, I don't think I have the endurance. What would you tell those guys that are about to click the pay now button for their submission or their entry fee, but they haven't yet?
Personally, last year was my first year racing enduro.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I haven't been mountain biking for a long time. And, for me, it was like, it was pretty scary going into the first one. It was a pretty gnarly place, Comfort, Texas, Flat Rock Ranch, right? Is that what it's called? And it was raining, wet, gnarly. It was tough. but
Everything on your first day?
Yeah, it was so much fun though. I mean, it was such a big party. Everybody's super welcoming. Everyone you see on the trail or everyone you're riding with or transferring with is awesome. And just there to have fun, and it's a really good time. And one thing that I've learned coming out of like my first season of racing enduro going to the next one is that every time I was at a race, I'd come back and I'd be better at riding my mountain bike, hands down. Like, you definitely have to push yourself, but you come out a better rider for sure, especially for a beginner.
Yeah, for me, it's always been no question. I love to race.
Yeah.
I love.
Because you raced BMX back in the day.
Yeah, dirt bikes, BMX, downhill, a little cross country, a little bit of everything, and it's always interested me. It's always a little bit different vibe and camaraderie, but it's always been motivating.
Yeah.
To dabble in those different disciplines, and I think for a new racer, just come out, connect with somebody, find a Facebook group, reach out to the promoter. There's always, and that's what our business is built around.
Yeah.
Meeting new people and sharing the experience. And you're gonna find that same mentality at every mountain bike race you go to.
Yeah,
There's always gonna be support.
And people are, you're up there, people haven't seen you before and they say, what's up, introduce yourselves, and all of a sudden you're talking strategy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's this sketchy rock section, with a drop, watch out for it, approach it this way, or check up your speed or whatever,
And that's been my experience too. I've been to 3 or 4 of them from 2 different series in the South, the Texas Enduro Cup and the Kodiak Tough Southern Enduro Tour. And there's such a wide variety of skill level. You have pro athletes that are factory riders from these manufacturers down to one race, I think it was Tyler. This girl had bought her bike that week.
Yeah.
She'd never been on the dirt. She just said, I'm gonna fucking try it. And she went out there and she finished the race.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then you'll run into people on the side, chain fell off, flat tire. Everyone just stops right away and says, hey, do you need help? I got some tools. Just make it happen. It's just such a cool environment. Quick fire round, guys. Got some questions that I did not let them know about beforehand. Some of these were submitted by people online that I said, hey, I'm about to interview these 2 goons. Give me some questions to throw them off. And these are the few. So I'll ask. First thing that comes to mind, just let it rip.
Gotcha.
Have you guys ever taken a client out on a guide and said, dude, this guy's way over his head, he's gonna fucking kill himself?
There's been a couple
There's gotta be something crazy in there.
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah. I mean,
We usually try to consult people and ask
Yeah.
them
Their
what
skill
their
level.
experience is, and but there has been times they said that they've ridden before, or actually it's happened most with the group.
Yeah.
You have one person that's motivated, or a couple people that are motivated to go out on a guide, and so like half the group is experienced, and then the people they're dragging along are just
Complete noobs.
yeah.
in
I
over their
mean,
heads. But
that's up to us to gauge. I mean, and we're really good about that, and more often than not, both of us will be on every guide.
Yeah.
And when that happens,
especially with the group.
yeah, and when that happens, we'll break it up into groups. Like I'll ride with the back for a while, or he'll
Yeah.
ride with the back for a while, and we'll split it up, and we'll wait at checkpoints and stuff, and warn people, if we get on some rowdy trails.
Yeah.
Be like,
So it's coming up.
But
Yeah,
so
keep
far,
your eyes open.
we've never had anybody not been able to complete a ride
Yeah.
or get injured.
yeah.
That's awesome.
One dude showed up without a helmet though,
You're like, dude.
at the Buffalo on a big day.
Yeah. I had one for him.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
good.
we're always prepared, but it happens.
All right, so have you guys ever gotten lost while you're out on a guide with a group and you're like, shit, we fucked up. I gotta figure this out.
There was just one time we didn't really get lost. We had this really cool group from up north, and they were more endurance oriented. And they wanted to go out for a big ride, and we really wanted to take them to the Buffalo. It was that time in fall when the colors were popping off and it was beautiful out there. So we took them on an old route that I know, and at the furthest point you are away from kind of the trailhead,
Yeah.
the furthest point you get out, you kind of exit the headwaters to loop back around on a service road. And right before that, the trail stopped. There was a bunch of storm damage, and the trail was just completely covered up. And so when we popped out on the road, the first intersection we came to, there's no signs or anything, and there's no cell phone service out there, and you're far out.
Yeah.
And so I just stepped away from the group for a minute to check an intersection, and pulled out the GPS and just kind of reiterated for myself the direction that
Which
we
direction
needed to
you're
go,
going.
and we were going the right direction, but Zach was with the group, and
Yeah, I was definitely trying to smooth it over. They're kind of like, is our guide lost? What's going on? Kind of. Most of them didn't care. It's
Yeah.
like whatever. Stop and take a pee break out here in the backcountry,
Yeah.
or whatever. But it was kind of a
The one moment you're just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh shit.
yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It was kind of an oh shit moment though. I mean, it's like, well, we just need to make sure we're going the right way. Because if you're gonna go the wrong direction
Yeah.
out there,
And
you
you
could
end up doing 15, 20
Yeah.
miles in the wrong direction.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
and then everything kind of looks the same, and just
Especially after a storm
Winding.
and everything gets knocked over.
yeah, winding around.
Have you guys ever busted ass trying to impress a girl with a trick on your bike?
For sure.
I've crashed a lot.
Which time do you want to know about?
Yeah.
In the instance of impressing a girl.
No, I mean, it
Show off
wasn't
moments, right?
like always impressing. Some of it was just like doing stupid shit. Like I don't even
Just
know.
trying to
It
be
was
cool. You're like, dude, I
little-
got this.
Little fluke,
Yeah.
and over the bars, or looping out on a wheelie. That sucked.
I definitely went over the bars doing a skid on the fixie before. Got like whipped out sideways, going super fast, and my knee hit the front wheel, and like grabbed, and just like, wow, right on
You're
face
down.
plant. Yeah,
I guess
face plant on the pavement.
one good one for me. I was doing a wheelie really fast down the street
Yeah.
and dropped my front wheel into a curb.
into the curb.
Yeah.
Won't do that again.
Scorpion moment. Maybe.
No, it just like hit the curb and slid out and slammed on the sidewalk.
Shorts or bibs?
Shorts.
I like to race with bibs
Yeah.
because on big days I don't want to carry a pack. I like to have everything distributed, and so I'll put food and maybe a tool in bib pockets,
Yeah.
fanny pack, and bike, and then I don't need to carry a big pack.
I mean, is the context like XC kit or a trail kit? I mean, because
Bib liners.
always had baggies
yeah.
on.
Yeah. So that kind of goes into the next question, which was pack or bottle.
Bottle, for
Bottle.
sure. I mean, being a trail guide, you have to carry a pack. I mean, you have to be prepared.
Yeah, that was a kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, but when you're riding for yourself,
Yeah.
you're always with
Yeah.
a bottle, no pack.
Usually use fanny pack and bottle.
Yeah.
Fanny packs making a comeback. What?
My camo fanny pack, man.
Typical question: 27.5 or 29?
27.5.
29.
Boom. Button heads.
Converted. I recently converted, I think. I don't know. I'm digging it.
So lame.
It was, well,
Shit doesn't turn.
yeah, it rolls over everything, man.
Here
Like
we go.
yesterday.
Yeah, totally. Wasn't on my bars at all.
I saw all the dabs.
So what are you riding, real quick? Tell these people what you got.
Oh, I just got a 2018/29.
Ellsworth Road 60.
Two pretty sweet bikes. We'll go over those a little bit later. Trail etiquette pet peeve. Stuff that you see people on the trail doing, you're like, dude, why are you doing that?
That's tough. Like around here, I think the standard etiquette has always been yield to uphill traffic.
Yeah.
But I know, like in Dallas and Texas, you guys have one-way.
It's all one way, yeah.
And here, all the trails are multi-directional, and a lot of our trails are built to go downhill each way, down berms, jumps, and it's frustrating sometimes. It's like, bro,
Get
you're
out of the way.
climbing.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop. I'm going downhill and having fun.
Yeah.
Not really a pet peeve, but I think there needs to be a balance there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, because the standard etiquette is downhill yields to uphill, right? But it can be dangerous, especially when there's a hiker on the trail and they're like, not giving up their right of way or whatever, and you're like,
Do you think they're Gandalf?
yeah, you're
I'm not moving for you, dude.
But that becomes dangerous because you might be going 20 miles an hour down a hill that's just
It's
and
hard to
our
stop.
ground is loose. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's loose over hard almost everywhere. So you're just swapping sideways, sliding everywhere, and
Yeah.
that's dangerous for everybody.
A lot of
so.
the spots is like the rocks are so loose, but they're big enough to where they roll, and it's like riding on marbles.
Yeah.
And even if you're using your brakes, you're not really slowing down a whole lot.
Right. So I always try to slow down, but yeah, it kind of sucks when people won't give it up, and it's like, why can't we both just slow down? So, or whatever,
What do you think is the most overhyped mountain bike trend or fad right now? Something that you see people talking about, like, dude, why?
29.
Wheel size debate.
You went straight to it.
I'd say probably more so
That's it,
tire size.
Tire size?
Tire size and
Yeah.
wheel size, and that's not something that's going to change. I know that.
Yeah.
But
Just ride what you like.
Yeah.
It's
ride what works for you.
you can't. A lot of people are preaching what's better, and it's just kind of like
It's like going online and seeing someone pop the question of, should I get this one or this one? And then all of a sudden you get 100 answers of something that they didn't even ask about.
You know what I noticed now?
This is so much better.
You always get the 26 guys, like
26 ain't dead.
29 or 27 and a half, and you see like 5 dudes.
Cubs.
26, 26, 26.
26 is dead. I still have a 26.
Do you see any common bad advice that gets handed out to newbies that you're like, dude, don't do that? You ever come across where someone said, hey, how do I go about this? And then someone gave them an answer.
Suspension setup.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, for sure. That and maybe just some technique, turning techniques.
Yeah.
Turning's everything. I hear a lot of people say get off the back when you're turning, and I don't know if I believe in that. So.
Get off the back meaning what?
Like unweighting your front wheel. I've heard a lot of
makes
people
no
talking
sense.
about that, and it's stupid.
Hey, let's take the traction away from the wheel that's turning your bike.
Yeah, you need to weight the front. Yeah.
Yeah. Best cycling purchase under $100 right now.
Say that again?
Best cycling purchase under $100. What's on the market that you think is probably the best purchase under $100?
There's shit that costs under $100.
I know, right? It's hard.
Huh.
Shock pump, man.
Shock pump.
Digital shock pump.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Thank Gucci.
I think my under $100 purchase soon will be that one-up multi-tool that goes in the stem that pops up. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Takes weight off your body and your pack, and it just goes on the bike.
Yep. Yeah, those are neat little integrated tools.
Yeah.
Or I mean, we're going into winter and a mud flap for front, mud guard.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish someone would make one that wouldn't break after 3 weeks. That would be nice. I think everyone that I've had has eventually cracked or just completely fell apart pretty quickly.
I need to get one. I've done 2 mini wet races this
Yeah.
year.
Have you ever had one?
No.
You ran one.
Yeah, I did for a while. Once I broke it,
So
summertime's fine,
I got one just to test it out. I was like, it's not gonna do much. Everyone's like, oh, it keeps the mud off you and stuff like that. But what I found was it keeps the gunk off the fork seals.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I keep running it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, favorite follows on social media. Who are your favorite? It doesn't even have to be cycling. It could be something else that influences you. Instagram account, their Twitter account.
Chris Kyle.
Chris Kyle.
Yeah, for sure.
That dude flows.
And our buddy Jimmy.
Yeah.
Keep on.
Yeah.
Jimmy Smith, shredding life.
Yeah. What'd you say? Get pitted, bro.
Yeah.
Get pitted. So pitted.
Jimmy's a cool
I'd say
dude.
drunk cyclist is
Yeah,
really
that's good.
hilarious.
Drunk cyclist.
Yeah,
What
that
is
guy's that guy's funny.
Just a bunch of videos of people failing.
Just all kinds of memes and bike memes and just
I really
Pretty
like
funny
to go
stuff.
and go back and watch our own stories and videos that we posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fanboy.
But, yeah.
I love my stuff. It's so good. Where can people find you guys online? What are your social media handles? Instagram, if you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook page you want people to know about.
Yeah. Our website, slaughtertrailguides.com. Facebook and Instagram are the three platforms that we're active on.
Yeah. Slaughter Trail Guides.
Slaughter Trail Guides, that is it. Those links will be in the description. Give these guys a shout when you're in town. Make it happen. You will not be sorry for coming out here. I promise you. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.